Hello, welcome to day 6. I believe it's day 6. I've almost forgot. Let me just quickly check to make sure it's not off to a good start. It is of creating a modern OpenGL game. Yep, so welcome to day 6, aka day 7. I'm creating a modern OpenGL game engine. This is where we're just going to be creating a modern OpenGL game engine. It's a very sort of open project. One is on GitHub, and two, we're not really doing anything conventionally because we've got multiple frameworks in there, but it's changing. We're taking feedback from the community, and yeah, it's progressing. So let's get straight down to it. So I made a few changes since the last video. Outside of the video, what I've done is create a folder called documentation. I put all stuff in here that's documentation related. So project structure, that hasn't changed. Notes, this has changed. We'll be going in there in a second. Not possible at the moment. I also discovered this earlier on, and this was the SFML retina display stuff. It doesn't really have a way of sort of determining between actual pixels and sort of the actual pixels of the screen and the virtual pixels in terms of like scale resolution. And then I also put big features overview. So this is just the sort of stuff that we generally want to be implementing into the system at some point in the future. And it's in I've tried to put it in a order. I've said it's in no particular order. It's like it is in the sort of order. I do sort of want it in this sort of way, because once I've done the basics on it, do the G. I hope, because this is something I was working on. I'll show you in a future video. And then input. Okay, so what we were doing was just handling, getting the window display. I got the code sorted for SDL to get retina, and it was this code right here. I'll show you. So first, get rid of all of this, and so this takes the window. Just takes 2 ints that it actually pumps the value into, so actual width, actual height. And if I were to print these values out, so if I run it, let me just go to the console. We get 1280 by 960, which is correct, because if you look in our settings file, we set it to 640 by 480, but because we're on a retina display, which is 4 times the resolution, it's something on a retina display. I've forced retina on my non-retina iMac, but that's a story for another day. So what it's done is doubled the width and double the height, because that's exactly the number of pixels that there are in this particular window. So we got that code sorted, but before we actually start using that, one thing that I wanted to change, or I also put it on here, was rename the screen size methods to window size, and then add retina variables, maybe call scaled window size, and by default assign the normal variables to the retina variables. The issue I think is, when I think of screen, really it's my computer screen. It's not this particular window right here. So these need to be renamed realistically. So I'm going to put get window size. It's just a simple change, but I'd rather do it now when I'm not using it in a lot of places than do it when we've essentially got a game engine all built. So get window size, get window width, window height, window size. And for this, just need to change this to window. Copy that, paste it. Copy that and paste it. And if we go to the core setting, ignore that. Let me just turn this off. It is pretty early here. Prefer to do the vlogs earlier on, because it's about 25 past. 25 past 5 in the morning. I'd rather do the vlogs in the morning, because when I get back from my day job, I'd rather work on stuff like the OpenGL tutorials and other stuff for the community. So yeah, let's do. Yeah, I need to change this to. I want to change this as well for the default window width, default window height. Change that. Change that. Window. And we're almost done. Could probably just do a mass search on screen, I guess. So but the problem is some are uppercase, some are lowercase, so it's best if I just manually change it myself. It'll cause less problems this way. Window, and need to change this to window. Preferably want to get the settings class pretty much all done today in terms of what's on the list, because I do want to progress myself, because we've been sort of stuck in this phase of doing this sort of maintenance for quite a while. Window width. Let me change these and then I'll get back to that one. So let me modify this to window billboard. Though there should be other errors. Yep, just need to update them here. So get window. Should be one more section where there's errors or two. Oh, two errors actually. Sorry. Yep. Get window. Okay, so now that we got that done, obviously I want to mark stuff off as we do them. So rename these retina variables. I'm working on that at the moment. So I've got the retina code size. Yeah. If we go to the core settings file, return the window size vector. Not scaled for high density screens like retina. Max. Use what's the other one that they should use instead? I'll put this on 2 lines actually. Use get scaled. Because what would it be called? There's actual window size and then there's the virtual window size. So I'm just trying to think of the exact sort of terminology that's used for this, because I did see mention SFML, Retina, Mac. I'm pretty sure I saw it on a forum. What the exact terminology is, that it's gonna help me name it better. But technically, sorry, it did. It's just you needed to have a plist, which we don't, because we're just using the terminal based. So at the moment, I don't know of a way, so I'm just leaving that. But it is noted, so we can do something later on when the time comes. Okay, it looks like it's based inside the window on the actual monitor resolution rather than scaled resolution. Okay, window size get scaled. Yeah, get scaled window size. Scaled window size. I'm happy with that. So need to do the same for this one. Get scaled window width. Probably be easier if I literally just copy and paste this. Height, so get window height, that's all good. Sets the size, no, set the window size, not the size, window size. And I'm gonna have to do the same for here. Not scaled for high density screens. Use set scaled window size. Set scaled window size. Sets the window height, width. Not scale. Sets scaled window width. Set window height, and we can just change this like so. I'm pretty happy with that. Vector GL int scaled window size. High density displays such as Retina Max. So I've saved that. I don't think I've ever liked a full stop at the end of a comment. So now what we're going to do is just duplicate all of these methods essentially. That should return errors. Yep, that's fine. Get scaled window size. Returns the scaled size. I'm gonna put for non-scaled use, for non-scaled use. I'll sort out the comments after. I get the return scaled window size vector, scaled, scaled. I'm not sure why you'd want to set the scaled one yourself. Chances are once you set it once, you're not really going to be changing it. You probably won't be changing the scaled one either, but that option is available if you wanted to. What does it not like? Okay, yeah, that's fine. That was just some leftover stuff because I hadn't built it yet. So let me just duplicate this. So it should be get window width. Returns the scaled width. Let me just update it here everywhere. What time is it? Okay, okay, that's fine. We're making good progress. Set the scaled window size. Should be all good to get the settings class done for today. The other methods are going to be very simple. They're not going to have this many sort of methods for getting a setting for like get buffer bits. It's just going to be buffer. Like there's going to be one for getting the buffer bits, and there's going to be one for setting it. Set the scaled window width, window height. Okay, that's fine. I'm all good with that. Again, I just want to finish this off like so, and then I can just do the implementation. Implementation should take like 2 minutes. Let me just copy and paste these everywhere, and then I will update the comment to reflect the appropriate method. So if I copy that, paste it, get rid of scaled, copy that, paste it, get rid of scaled, again copy that, this one. The two W's sort of look weird then, but no, that's fine. Just get window width and get window height for this, and we're done. So let's build it. Nope, no. Make sure it's all good. That's fine. If we go to our settings implementation file now, what I'm going to do is copy and paste all of this. By default, we're going to assume no scaling. So what I would do is just to get scaled window size, like so. And I'm going to do is get scaled, and need to change this to scaled. Just going to copy and paste this everywhere here before I actually forget. Probably be quicker than 2 minutes actually, this implementation will. So now I just need to change this to scaled. I'm happy with the parameters being passed in, the arguments being called window width and window height. I don't have a problem with that at all. Could change that at a later date, but that's a minor one if we want to. So build, so good. And now what we want to do, if we go to the core engine CPP, the core settings, we want to do is get window width, but we want to do the scaled one. That's always, realistically, that's always the one you should be using. Get scaled window width. Get scaled window height. If we go to the core frameworks, no, SDL. It should be the same. We should always get in here we set the regular one, and then what we do is once we have the parameters here, we set it like so. We would do core settings set scaled window width. Yeah, here's an example where you would want to set the scaled one. It would be actual width. Now let's do it for the height, because this will get called before we do GLFW, because we initialize the framework. So this will go to framework init, and the framework object will get initialized, aka this right here, and we'll set the regular sort of resolution. SDR handles the scaling in the background, so we don't have to do anything for that, but we do have to retrieve those particular values here, like so. So now that we've done all of that, I should put some more comments here. It's alright for now. And once we've done, now that we've done all of that, what I want to do is do the same for GLFW. We've essentially got the code right here. So for SFML, we aren't actually changing a thing. I'm also just thinking, if you set the window width, should you set the scaled window height manually? Yes. Now I'm gonna leave these independent. I'm gonna let the framework handle this for now. So yeah, if we go to SFML, the one change I do need to do in here, so if I just go setting, change it to the SFML framework, build, this shouldn't build at all, and we need to change this here, so this will be get core settings, get window. I'm just going to put the width because we're not using any sort of scaled one on here, and we can change this at a later date. Get window height. Okay, that is fine. I believe the close does work on here. No, it doesn't actually need to sort that one out as well then. Okay, so now that we've done that, so I want to do the GLFW. So if we go to definitions, GLFW, and what errors have we got? No membrane here. Just be able to copy and paste this into here. Plus, it's moaning for some reason there isn't the get window height. It's moaning again. No matching function call for jump to definition. It's int width. It was, the issue lies in this right here. I'd started it but didn't carry on with what I finished, or hadn't finished what I'd started. So get window height, no width, sorry, the other one's going to be the height. So we always pass in just a regular width and height, and then here we're getting window size. Yeah, we're no longer, this is remnants from when we was doing handling window size within our framework. We got a core setting singleton for that now, which is fantastic. But we got the screen width and height, which is this is a scaled one, and we would do core settings, set scaled. I've got the object instead accidentally. Core settings. Just give me a second. There we go. So what I was doing, got my other computer here, I was just opening Chrome, so I had a sort of light background, so there's light coming on to me, just so it's easier for you to see me. But I think that's bad. So core settings, set scaled window width. What I also want to do is create a coding standard documentation for this. I actually need to update the coding standard documentation files, so web, desktop, that sort of stuff. for my company anyway. So once I've done that, I'll probably just bring that over onto this project. And I'm sure I haven't followed all of the standards by now anyway, but most of the standards are pretty much always followed. I am quite strict with myself on stuff like that. Okay, I really should name this as scaled. It's just, we know what we're doing now, but if we come back in 2 months and we've wrote a shit ton of code, we might be like, get screen, and it's a screen anyway, it's the window one, so it's definitely not valid. Run it, make sure it's all good. A scaled window, get scaled width. And we're good. So now if we get rid of this, get rid of these two, we can get rid of this because we've done this now. Also in generic such as OpenGL version, yeah, that's literally what this is. So let's handle the depth bits now. If we go to core settings, .hpp, we're going to create another. First of all, let me just create a GLN, so depth bits, and this is going to be GL int depth bits. By default, what should I put as the by default? What are we using in here? 24. I'll put 24 and 8 as the default value, so 24, 8. And for the OpenGL version, I'll put 3 and 3. So in core settings, for the default stuff, I'm going to put set define. Yeah, it is the window stuff. Yep, depth underscore bits 24. The other one was stencil, wasn't it? Yeah, stencil bits. Stencil. We're not really doing anything with these parameters at the moment. We'll be dealing with this stuff later on. So it's going to be get window. No, get OpenGL. Should it be get underscore OpenGL? Let's have a look at that doesn't look right, but let's have a look at the way, let's say GLFW has done it. So just get OpenGL major version. Actually, yeah, free is fine. You get a good shader level with that. Free is fine, and you know, if you want to change it, you can easily come and change it because you can see where I'm doing it. Let's go major, and pretty much every system should support this now anyway, realistically, or any system that you should care about. So if we go to here, we need to set the default value. So this depth bits equals sg underscore def underscore window depth bits. And now if we go to the core settings header again, we just need to create the getters and setters. I'll duplicate one of these comments. This we only need a scaled one. So returns the applicate def bits of the amount of depth bits of the application window. You might be wondering why I'm calling it application window instead of game window. This could be used for applications, and that's what a game is, an application anyway. Game is just more of a specific term. So we're going to put GL int get depth bit count. Should I put get depth bits, or I would like to know the way GLFW does this. So if we were to do window getting this weird thing again where it's not getting the method. So but if I were to just go into here, actually see if I can trace through it like so. No, I can't. Oh yeah, I forgot about audio. I need to put that into the future stuff as well. The audio is in here. We're gonna have to use an external, some sort of like, I don't know, or OpenGL or something for your Fmod, because it's not built into every single framework, and therefore I can't get it from the framework. Stuff like input, for example, is built into GLFW as from an SDL, so I'm just gonna get it from the framework. I might Google if there's any sort of decent sort of C++ or cross-platform input library that's external, but if it's not better than those three, I won't bother. Most of these frameworks always do have input, so for that reason, I'm going to get it from the framework. There are reasons to using the framework as well. Now it should be audio. Just put audio. Keep it simple. So we was in the core settings and get def bits. That's fine. And now we need to set it. We do have a semicolon. Oh, okay. Weird. Okay, so okay, now we're gonna just do set the amount of depth bits for the application window. So we're gonna do void set on the outside of the comment, so void set depth bits, and this is just going to take a GL int def bits. I'm going to copy and paste this into here, it'll be faster. I'm also going to do some comments around this stuff, something like so. So in here I'm simply going to put start window size getters and setters 1, 2, 3, 4, and just do it. I do like them centered. So I need to also do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2. 1, 2. Okay, so now that we got that done, we're literally going to copy and paste that to the end. This is an easy way of saying, okay, this batch of code is linked, this batch of code is linked. It's going to be end window size. And obviously to reflect this, I'm going to add a star here, an asterisk here, an asterisk there. To do the same for here, but for now it's going to be get start scaled window size 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. I'd rather take one from here, rather a bit more to the left than to the right. I think that looks better. copy this. This is going to be end. So start. Not setters, setters. After I've done this, I'm going to do some yoga after this video, that is. Then once I've done that, I'm going to have some breakfast, and while I'm having breakfast, I'll watch Halt and Catch Fire. I can't wait for episode 7 of Halt and Catch Fire. If you don't watch that, seriously, check it out. It's on Amazon Prime. It takes a couple of days for it to get onto there if you're in the UK, but it is, oh my god, it is fantastic. And I love how they don't really restrain from using technical language. They do go quite deep into it, and they don't get like a whiteboard and start explaining it, and it's like you're not explaining it for the characters, you're explaining it for the audience. I don't like that, because even if it's something in a field I don't know about and I don't understand, I'd rather them honestly not explain it and me searching myself, because I will just Google it myself, what was that, whereas obviously unfortunately most people won't, which is obviously a bad thing, because if you don't understand something, it is always good to, you know, Google it. So yeah, I guess need to change this to, but check out the show, because a lot of people have heard of, it's called Mr. Robot, really good show as well. It's finished now, season 2 has, but this is, oh my god, this is one of my favorite shows of all time. Prison Break is my favorite show, and yes, I'm looking forward to that coming back out next year, season 5. Been waiting for this day for so long. Well, that day, it hasn't started yet. So, end, asterisk there, put an asterisk there, and okay. That is fine. And now what we're going to do is, also need to do course settings, colon, need to do this. Where is it? Depth bits, return. And now I need to do the same for setting the depth bits, core settings, and this is going to be this depth bits equals depth bits. This should work now. Okay, so we have our like default value. So if we go to GLFW CPP, we need to do core settings, get depth bits. I can change that in the SDL file. Well, that's quite an interesting choice of words. Get depth size. That's got get depth size, get stencil size, set stencil size, get stencil size. I don't think I quite like that actually. Get depth size. Because, yeah, I think I prefer that instead. Bear with me. So get depth size. Get depth size. Yep, that didn't change because it had the same number of characters, which is good. So the only thing I need to change is in the header. I need to change this to depth size. I just think that's more representative of what these getters and setters are doing. So if we go back to GLFW, this shouldn't work anymore. Should need get depth size. If I build it, this should be fine. Oh nope. So go. Let me just update it here. Final piece, and I'm gonna guarantee it's gonna build now. So good. If I go to the GLFW file and copy that into SDL, copy that into SFML. What time we got? 6 o'clock. I'm gonna have to be ending this video soon. This is unfortunate. It's got the depth bits done, but in the next video I guarantee we'll get pretty much all of this done. The VSync I'm not too sure about. Need to see if there's an easy way of doing that. If not, that'll be for a later video. One thing I want to do before I end this video is in each of the framework files, after we've done the Windows stuff, realistically I'm thinking, should I do this after? This is fine. What I'm gonna do is for settings, set depth size, and I'm gonna set this to GLFW get the depth size, GLFW get depth bits. What I want to do is actually get it and set it, and the reason for that is if we were to set ESL, let's say to 5 billion or 5,000 or something that does not work for whatever reason, it will default to its own some other value, and as a result we want to make sure we have those values in case we use them later on using the actual getters for whatever reason in our code. So depth question is, how do you do this in here? Send the values you need and hope for the best. Perhaps provide fallback if you can't get what you want. Generally should generally work. Is that saying there's no getters? No, don't want to bookmark. Okay, would appear not. So I'll leave this out for now. I'll still leave def bits on the actual documentation simply because I'll have a look at it in my spare time outside of this video and have a look. But yeah, we made progress. Soon all of these will be using our settings and we'll have stuff anti-aliasing. We'll actually implement that. I need to implement a way for full screen, the window title, which is this right here. Yeah, it's becoming more abstract, which is fantastic. So tomorrow probably be, I might even do one today if I get some time. But I've got a Skype call later on, so I probably won't be able to do today, but definitely one tomorrow. Once we've done this, the fix window not closing, that should be like a 15-minute job. I can get rid of this code now. Then I'll probably get on to converting the GL helper class, which is fantastic. I want to show you what I was working on a little while ago. I got pretty far with it, but I was using the old OpenGL system, so I want to use the new OpenGL stuff. So yeah, that is it for day 6, and I look forward to doing this some more, carrying on. There will be a link in the description for the GitHub page. Feel free to check that out. Feel free to contribute towards in terms of code. Feel free to make suggestions in terms of new features to add or code to change, code to update, code to add, whatever. And as usual, thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great day. Stop recording.